Good morning. So we are back from vacation. We went to the beach for an entire week. We unplugged, relaxed, and it was the best time. None of us wanted to come back. We just really want to move to the beach now, but we can't. We have a farm, we have a plan, we're doing this thing, so we're back and it's time to jump in full force. We've had so much produce grow and be picked while we were gone. I mean, baskets full, and I am so pleased with how my parents took care of everything for us. They took care of the animals, the garden, the home, the yard, everything, and never once do they complain. So we have tons of things to preserve. Tons more are starting to grow out there. Green beans are coming in, all of our tomatoes. Squash is almost done. I'm going to take you out there and do a full tour. So yeah, it's already almost 90 degrees out there. I did sleep in a little bit this morning. It is almost 9 o'clock, but I had to sleep in and try to get back into farm mode. It's not easy when you go from the beach to the farm. Anyway, I'm finishing my coffee. I'm gonna make a drink to take out there with me because it is so humid and hot already, and then we will head out. Anytime I'm going outside to work in the garden and I know I'm going to be out there sweating and it's super hot, I like to add salt to my water or any of my drinks that I take out there. This morning we have some Gatorade left over, so I am just going to take some Gatorade out there. But adding the salt, I feel like just really helps me stay more hydrated and replace all of the salt that my body sweats out. Usually we use Redmond's real salt, but I'm out and I need to order some more. That is my favorite salt to use, but this morning we are just going to use this Himalayan salt, and this is from Rega. I have no idea. It's from the grocery store, but it'll do. So I went ahead and got all of the animals taken care of this morning. All their food, water refreshed. I cleaned out our chicken coop. It is extremely hot. Now I can show you the garden. My parents, again, did a wonderful job taking care of everything. I'm so thankful for them. Everything looks so good. Just a few weeds, not many. I'm not going to complain. But you can see the importance here of ground cover. This is the only, let me move out of the way, the only weeds really that pop up. And I mean, they're so easy to pull. Just pull them right out. And this is just that nasty Bermuda grass that grows. So I'm going to do some weeding. I'm not doing that though until this evening. But you can just see how large the pepper plants have gotten. And they are loaded down again. And I've got all those peppers inside. The tomatoes are looking good. I did come out here yesterday evening about, well, I guess last night, about 7:30, and watered everything really, really good. And it was just so unbearable. Like, it was so hot. The mosquitoes were crazy. So I'm going to do that again this evening and just skip morning watering because it's so hot. But tomatoes are looking good. I did notice there was some damage from hornworms, like you can see here. A hornworm has just stripped this. There's lots of poop from hornworms, so I know they're on here. I mean, you can see, look, this is completely stripped. This here, so I've got to find those. I know they're on here. Where else did I see a lot of damage? Right here, some damage, lots of poop. So I'm going to be on the hunt for hornworms. I'm probably going to have to get some BT spray to spray everything. But, oh, here's more, you can see. And then this is what their little poop looks like. So I've seen lots of that. I'm going to have to find the hornworms. But other than that, tomatoes look really good. This plant I didn't really have high hopes for because it was just kind of doomed from the beginning. So don't worry about that. But I've got to come in here and do some pruning. I see some disease leaves that I need to take off right away. So I'll do that this morning. But yeah, other than that, some pruning and some pest hunting. I think tomatoes did really good while I was gone. Peppers did amazing. There's some on here that's probably ready to be picked that I saw last night. I like to pick them when they're about, let's see, palm size. Can't see. I'm terrible at this filming and recording thing. But peppers did really good. I don't really have to do much to them besides a really good water. I will look for pests because before I left I did see a hornworm on my peppers, which is weird, but I'm going to look for those. Cucumbers are doing really good. I do need to fertilize them and trellis up the ones that are kind of branching out, but they have been doing really good, and we've already gotten quite a few cucumbers, and there's tons more growing on here. Still lots of bees pollinating them. So cucumbers look really great. I did not end up ripping out the squash and zucchini before we left. My dad was like, just leave it, I'll keep an eye on it. It is pretty much all dying, which is fine. You know, I didn't have any hopes for it. There's a couple that are still producing. We got a little squash there. We've got some zucchinis still growing, but I am going to rip all of this out this evening. And I mean it this time. You can see a little zucchini there still growing. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. I'm just going to take off whatever's on here that we can eat. These little ones, you know, like that, I'll keep. But the squash bugs have just taken over. It is insane. And it's making me rethink the varieties that I planted. I am going to replant a few, probably 2 squash and 2 zucchini plants, but I'm not going to replant as much as I did. I think that the pest pressure that these attract is really just not worth it. So I'm going to look into some different varieties and we'll see, you know, how those go. But purple hull peas are doing really good. They're loving the heat. My flowers are doing so good. They're all starting to bloom. I need to do some major weeding right there. But other than that, I don't really do anything with the flowers. I just kind of let them be wild. And then potatoes. Okay, so potatoes I know really nothing about. This is my first time getting to this point. But to me, they look like they're ready to harvest. So I came out here last night and I just pulled up a plant. And I did get a couple potatoes off of them. I already took them inside. So yeah, I'm really excited to dig these potatoes out and see what we have. I don't know what to expect, but I've got some little potatoes. So I'll probably do that this evening too. And I'm going to make a whole separate video about that because there's a lot to show when it comes to digging them out that I don't want to cram in just one video. But yeah, the potatoes are almost all flopped over. They're dead. They're dry because we've had no rain and we are in a severe heat warning for the next couple of days. I mean, we're in high 90s, high 90%, 80% humidity, no rain in sight for the next couple of days. Perfect time to pull the potatoes so that they stay dry and then they can cure. And then these are more purple hull peas. They are looking really good. I think I've decided to let them grow and then dry on the vine because I want to keep these as dry beans. Now, if you want to eat them fresh, you pick them now when they're nice and plump and the pods are just starting to turn that purple color. But I don't want to eat them fresh. I want to have some dried beans to store in our pantry for whenever we want them. So I'm not doing anything to the beans. I'm just going to let them grow, dry on the vine, and then I will pick them and shell them, and then we'll store them in our pantry. Watermelons are hidden in the weeds. You can see some watermelons here. I've got probably about 6 or 7 vines, and they're all got some little watermelons growing on them. I'm just leaving them to do their thing, and hopefully we get a couple of little watermelons. There is a really big one down here that's been growing well. And I left this corn because I wanted to see what it would do. Obviously, it's not doing too good. I had no hopes for it because only a couple germinated. But I wanted to leave them because I wanted to show you the tassels. So corn self-pollinates, and it pollinates by the wind. So watch, you can see. I don't know if you can see. I can see, but there's like pollen on there. And whenever the wind blows, the corn itself pollinates through these tassels, and that's what makes corn cobs develop. So there's not enough here, to do anything, but I wanted to leave it just as a little educational thing for the kids. That way I can show them how corn pollinates, because they are so used to seeing how bees pollinate and different pollinators coming in our garden, but corn is different. So I thought it would be fun to show them. And then our pumpkins are doing really good. I planted a couple of white pumpkins. Those are the bigger ones here before we left. And then the night before we left, I planted some mini pumpkins, which are all starting to pop up in there. So they just need some good water, and hopefully they'll start, climbing up the trellis. And then green beans. There's probably quite a few on here that need to be harvested. I like to harvest them when they're not super thick because then they're woody and not very tender. So I'll harvest some more green beans and just water them really well. But yeah, green beans have been doing really good. The cucumber beetles are really taking over some of them. So I'm going to have to spray some BT probably. Which last year I didn't spray anything, and our green beans did so good. Like this one here, this is about as big as I like to let them get. I do think I'm going to plant another round of green beans though, because I'm not too happy with these plants per se. I think that the location of them, the beetles are just really getting to them. And it's Japanese beetles too, and you can see one here. I need to get a Japanese beetle trap so that I can... That one's dead. So that I can get a better control on them, because they are just tearing my plants up. But if you flick them hard enough, they will die. So lots of pests right now. It is the hottest time. July and August is the hottest time here in North Alabama, and a lot of things that you plant early on, like green beans, squash, zucchini, all of that is just kind of at the end of its life. But you can plant another round, which is really good. So, oh, it looks like my Cherokee purple tomatoes are not doing good over here. This branch completely broke off, so we'll just toss that in the compost. But I need to come and trellis these up a little bit more, give them some water. So that's how things went in the garden while I was gone. Now we'll just get to work. Okay, I've tied up all the tomatoes that I'm going to tie up, pruned up them really well. I'm going to leave it until this evening, and I will do a really good deep water on everything. I will weed this evening when the sun starts to go down and pull out all of our squash and zucchini plants then. It's just too hot right now, but here's our little haul plus everything that's inside.